Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Schelt, and I am the new service desk manager for MCNC. And today we have a few slides to go over the client portal that we rolled out earlier this year. For those of you that haven't used this yet, this is going to be a great launch pad to get you started. And for those that are already using it, this might possibly help with questions about what you can do and how to navigate within the portal. Hopefully everybody can see my screen okay. And start out with the benefits of using the portal. Um, so as you log in and we'll go to the homepage here in a second, but you can add and manage any of your contacts that you have quite easily. Uh, you can view, update, and create support cases from this portal. We have managed services that you can access directly from there. You can view and see REN performance data, a maintenance calendar for your school, and access any knowledge base articles that relate to your school as well. So logging into the portal is pretty easy. It's navigating to portal.mcnc.org. Again, if you've been in here before, you understand how this works. You've already gone through and created a new Interconnect user account. And underneath here, it says use the email address you receive notifications from MCNC. What this means is any of the notifications that we respond back and forth with your school should have should be in our account in ServiceNow. So this is used to authenticate your account in Interconnect. The authentication tool that we use to verify you are who you say you are, and you really only need to do this once, right when you're creating the account. So one thing I'd like to note is completing this process once you start it uh, is essential, as the authentication window for this will expire, and then we'll need to start the process over again, right? So if you start the Interconnect account, you go through where the authentication process requires you to authenticate. If you stop there and do something else, that window will expire and then we'll have to start over again. So just a quick note on that. So navigating to the portal, once you create that account and log in, this is what the home page, the client portal looks like. You have several tiles on the top left. You can favorite anything that you need to, or there are some announcements that we might send out to clients. There's also support cases and your organization's support cases. So pretty self-explanatory here. My support cases are going to be the cases that you entered yourself, and the organization is going to be anyone else that's within your organization. So if there's like a DNS issue or something, right, and somebody had already put in a ticket for that, you would see that under that part right there. You can view performance data, client documents, the reports, your maintenance calendar, and knowledge base. So I'm going to go through some of these just to kind of show how some of this works, and we'll get started with updating contacts. Right. So the first thing that you'll want to do is add a contact. If somebody is new to your organization, you can go into that tile and click Add Contact. And once we do that, we can add a contact relationship, but I'll show you how to do that here in a second. So once you click Add Contact, pretty simple. The required information here is going to be your first name, last name, account, and email. Now, if it's a single account that you belong to, this already might be there pre-populated. So I would encourage you to fill out anything on here that helps us understand how to get in touch with anybody if we need to. Once you're done filling all of this out, click submit. That creates the contact for your organization. So once you create the contact, then we want to add a relationship for that contact. So what a contact relationship is for someone that might be a firewall manager, they might be Zscaler manager, they just might even be a notification contact for someone that doesn't necessarily need to be in notified or within your organization. They don't need to have an account, right? You just want to let them know um, uh, if something's going on, you can add them as a notification contact. You can see here on the bottom left, you've got ASM, which is attack surface monitoring. You've got contact manager. There's a few others that fall down underneath that. And to do that, you would just click add contact relationship, fill in this required information, which if it's a single account, this is probably going to pre-populate. Your contact that you want to assign a responsibility for. And then, of course, that responsibility. These drop-down menus should give you anything that you need that you have available, right? If you're a firewall or secondary contact or anything like that. And there's also a knowledge base article regarding contact relationships and what they do. It's a little bit lengthy, but it does go into some pretty good detail about what's available and how those roles interact with your organization. So that's how you create a contact relationship. And then you click submit, and that goes into our system as well. So anytime anybody puts in a ticket that say they're a firewall manager, right? They put in a ticket or a case, and it comes to the service desk, and they say, hey, we need a new rule for this, this, and this. If they're the firewall manager, then we don't really need to get an approval anywhere further than this person that added the case, right? If it's a notification contact or somebody else that just is a contact without having a responsibility for that or any kind of relationship towards that, then we would need to respond back and get verification from the contact manager or the primary to make that happen. So these are kind of important to really kind of expedite that escalation of that resolution. So, all right, moving on to editing a contact. And you'll see here over on the left-hand side, we've got Mickey Mouse. So Mickey's been in our organization, and Mickey's been doing quite well. And we need to edit this contact because some of the information that we have for Mickey isn't quite right. He's been doing really great, so he's going to get a promotion. So if we go over here, Mickey is now, it was the director of labs. Well, he's moving on up. He's having a really great year. He's now the VP of labs. So we're going to go ahead and change this here, and this gives us an idea that the hierarchy in the organization to know that now Mickey is he's a VP. We can change anything else within this that isn't grayed out as far as the email. If Mickey's email changed, then you would press this button here where you would request an email update. What that does is that creates a request for our team to change that kind of on the back end of that, because really your sign-on to get into the account is your login ID. So changing that requires a bit more effort and some things for our team to do. So after we change Mickey to the VP of Laughs, you can go here and save this, right? So what that does is that saves it, and now any type of edit that we need to make to this end user is saved. Now, in the same respect, if Mr. Mouse here wasn't doing so great and he left the organization, then you can also inactivate this contact here by unchecking where it says active. Now, I think at this point, the only person that can do that is a contact manager or the primary of the organization. So kind of keep that in mind if somebody's going through here and tries to inactivate that. You're going to need to be a contact manager or a primary to do that. Once that's done, we can click save, and that contact has been changed. Pretty simple. All right, so we'll move to submitting a support case. So on the front page or the home page of this, you'll see where it says there was a tile that says submit support case. So you can press that, brings you to this page here where you can put in your title and your description. That's really the only thing that's required. Your account should already pre-populate, and additional contacts can be available for you. And then down here where it says additional email addresses, this is going to be a spot for anyone that is not a contact in your system, that is outside of your account. That doesn't really necessarily need information all the time, but say there's a VP that wants to understand what's happening with a firewall issue you're having. You can add that email address right here, and it will add that user to the ticket. I would be as descriptive as possible with this when you submit a support case. This helps my team triage and escalate to the appropriate teams. If there's information that we need further, then we can always contact you and get the required information that we need to escalate this to the appropriate team. So that's pretty much everything that's needed just to create a new case. And then up on the top right, just click submit. That will send you an auto response from our system. And in that auto response, it will get a support case number as well. On the home page, we also have a View NCREN Performance Data button, right? So this button, if you click on that, it brings you to where you can see what the utilization is for your circuit, right? So your circuit shows whatever this is, and then you can see the utilization here, and there might be a couple of services that you have. There might be a couple of circuits that you have. So it'll let you know there's a drop down here that shows that. In the top left, you'll see where it says View Monthly NCREN Reports. Now, I didn't add any of that to this slideshow. Basically, what happens when you click on that, it just brings up a list of the months each year for each year. You just click on that month, and it'll give you, I think what is it? It's about 10. Paul, is that correct? About 10 reports.
Yeah, it's around there.
Yeah, that show different things for K through 12, all kinds of other things that we have available. So, and then that will take you to that. Now, on the bottom side of this is actually the second half of this page. You'll see where your latency graph is. And if there's issues, you can always go in to see if you have certain times of the day that are showing more latency than others. And this will give you some information based on hours, month, year, or you can customize this as well. So that is your NCREN data. A lot of good information in there. So at the bottom of the home page, where you didn't see it was cut off underneath where the favorites was, underneath the favorites shows what your managed service applications are going to look like. Now, you may not have all of these. You may only have one, or you may have a couple. So if you have CrowdStrike, then of course you're going to see this tile here, and you can click on that tile, and what that does is that takes you to the CrowdStrike portal, where you can log into that portal and manage anything you need to from a CrowdStrike perspective. Other than that, on this, there's not much else. This just shows you what you have available, and then you can go from there. So next, we'll look at, this is the maintenance calendar, and this is going to be specific for your school. So on here, you'll see on the 25th, there was some fiber maintenance, right, for this school, and it'll show what what the date is. It'll show what the window of that maintenance window is going to look like, and shows you the case number for that, and then any type of notes that are going to be associated with that fiber maintenance, with maintenance in general, right? You can hover over that. That's basically what I did here. You can hover over it. You can click on this also once it comes up, and it'll also bring up another page and give you a lot more detail on what that maintenance entails, as far as what's going to be scheduled, when, and where. So. And I think that is it for me. So if we have any questions. Anything come through on your end, Paul?
No, nothing here.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to call the service desk at 248-4100, or you can email us at servicedesk@mcnc.org. My team is very good at responding with any kind of answers that you have. I'll be glad to help you out.